I was just watching this Howard Stern interviewing Ed Sheeran about his copyrighted or copyright lawsuit that took 8 years, and basically he was being accused of basically stealing other people's materials and whatnot. It reminded me of something that you know when a person is creative beings, they don't really need to steal anything because they can make their own. You know what I mean? They can generate their own. They can evolve on their own. You don't need to steal somebody else's. I remember I was going to college in the U.S. in Baltimore, and I was taking what was it, the literature class, and it was I had to write about basically the professor gave us basically guidelines to follow and to in order to write a certain story and stuff like that, and it has to be from something that actually happened to you. It's like a true story, and you kind of have to kind of spin the story to tell what you want to kind of basically follow the guidelines of the assignments in order to write this essay. I remember I looked at the examples. None of them something happened to me, and I remember I just said, okay, you have to come up with something, otherwise you're gonna fail this class. And I remember making up a story, and the story was so touching. And it was basically I made up a story, and I said I have lived this story. So that's my spin on it. Basically, I have not lived that story. Like, it's not my story. I just kind of I wrote it, but it's not me. But I made it seem it's like was me who have lived it. I remember the professor was so touched by this story, and it was a good story, but I just made it out of thin air. I wrote it, and it was very creative. I remember showing it to this professor. His name is Ron. Let's say Ron, capital M. And he had read it, and he started laughing, and he told me, what did you get for this assignment? I said to him, oh, I got an A. And he started laughing, and he goes, if she only knew that you made up the story, this not you. You have not lived the story, right? Because he knew me. And he goes, you kind of played on that person emotion, that person, because the way I've written it, it was so moving to the point it's that person started living my story. It was was like there in the moment and stuff like that. But anyhow, the reason I'm telling you this because I have written 4 songs, a couple of months ago and whatnot, and I stopped because I feel like awaken that part of me that being able to create. All star children are very creative, and they're creative beings. We could create out of thin air. And I've just said to myself, stop doing that. Stop creating, because they're gonna steal this from you and they're gonna label it as their own. And so Ed Sheeran copyright lawsuit, it just kind of remind me of that fact. People could steal your idea and not pay you for it. You understand? And since I've been in this program, I feel like is I've been enslaved. So I stopped creating. I stopped producing anything of value because the longer the more you produce, the more they keep you in this program. You need to stop producing for these people. You understand? Because if you continue to produce, you are valuable to them, and that you're not getting paid for it. So what's the point? You're making them rich and you've been enslaved. Stop producing to these people. So, and I've noticed because I was writing, the first, couple of songs I have written, they were very rusty. I feel like I'm oiling my engine and getting my thought patterns and getting my old self to create again. But I did it because I was not in the right frame of mind. When I did it, I was I was stoned, let's say, and after I wrote it, and I just felt like big mistake. Stop doing that. You stop getting in that frame of mind because you're gonna make these people rich. And when I've written the last song, it was like I felt like it was really good song. I wrote it like in a matter of like an hour, I kind of like whipped it together. But then I just said, after I sobered up, and I just said, big mistake. I'm not doing that anymore. So to get back to the point where I'm trying to tell you guys, if you could continue to produce to these people, you will never be free. You will always be a slave because you are most valuable to them because you're producing. Stop producing. And I'm very stubborn. I'm not sure other target individuals or star children are stubborn like me, but I'm very stubborn. If I said I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to do it. If I said I'm going to do something, I'll do it. I stick to my word. So my advice to you guys is stop producing. Otherwise, you will never be free.